Solution.
We are the tribes who have lived in Europe for thousands of years. Our identities weren't lost. They were stolen by colonists and world wars. Our voices have been suppressed generation after generation, bringing us to the brink of extinction. Today, so-called modern development and the digital age are dismantling our traditions and enslaving us into machines and artificial intelligence. But should we allow ourselves to become slaves, to be erased? Or should we survive, holding on to our roots and knowledge? We believe the solution lies in returning to our indigenous ways. The West-Friesian Indigenous Tribe, led by Ray and Sinda, has chosen to take a stand for survival. They have embarked on a journey to reclaim their indigenous title at the United Nations.
I have searched for a path to freedom for so long. Then I met Ray, and together we searched endlessly, fearful of losing our traditions, our ancient language, our culture. Along our journey, we met many others, indigenous people struggling for the same freedom. And then we met a Buddhist monk named Arimiyaga from the Sihela Nation, an indigenous group from Sri Lanka. He showed us a path we'd never considered. He taught us that to regain our freedom, we must revitalize and rebuild our tribes. That is the only way to find true independence, even the path to enlightenment, which can only flourish in egocentric societies. He also revealed a mechanism within the UN that could recognize our title. Guided by his wisdom, we came to Geneva, to the heart of the United Nations. Now we are working with the UN expert mechanism on the right of indigenous peoples to reclaim our lost title, secure legal protection, and establish a self-governing territory. With the support of UNDRIP and ILO 169, we aim to reclaim our title, and with it, our right to self-determination.
Meet the Grand Chief of the West-Friesian Tribe, René Autobijkerk, known as Ray.
We understand you're here in Geneva to seek assistance under the UNEMRIP. Can you tell us more about your mission here?
We're here to secure the recognition of our tribe as an indigenous people of Europe. Our ancestral land lies within what is now called the Netherlands. And although we still have our own language and culture, they are distinct from the Dutch. For countless generations we have lived in close connection to nature, but modern society and the current education system are erasing our way of life. We don't want to live within the confines of modern society. It makes us feel unwell, it makes us feel sick. Our solution is to create a territory on our ancestral lands where we can live independently. We are here seeking support from the UN and the global community to protect our tribe, knowledge, tradition from extinction. We as nature-centered people feel deeply unsettled by the digital world. And this so-called development, driven by materialism, we are mentally unable to tolerate it anymore. We've lost confidence in modern state systems and are genuinely concerned about upcoming smart cities, 5G and 6G, and 15-minute cities for nature-friendly people like us. This is unthinkable. We seek self-isolation from these systems to live in peace, reclaiming our self-determined territory on our ancestral lands is the only way for us to survive. I extend my heartfelt thanks to other indigenous tribes, especially to the Sihela, who have come forward to support us in this journey.
Thank you very much, Grand Chief Ray. The planet truly needs people like you, living reservoirs of natural knowledge, to help preserve our natural world.
Meet the visionary behind the movement to rebuild indigenous alliances and restore a balanced, ecocentric way of life. Sinhala Buddhist monk Ariyamaga.
Reverend Sir, why are you committed to building a global indigenous alliance?
As a Buddhist monk, my sole intention was to attain enlightenment, what we call Nibbana, within this very lifetime. I have achieved it, but the greatest challenge I face is the difficulty in bringing others to this pure path of Nibbana. I searched for the barrier between us, and I found it. Our present-day minds have been reshaped by colonial education. The education system shifted people from the ecocentric worldview they held in the pre-colonial times to an anthropocentric one that dominates today. This distorted worldview fuels greed and ego and lies at the root of today's personal, social, and environmental crisis. It is the reason of the global social and political unrest we see today. In Asia, this transformation began in the 16th century with the Western colonial influence, and perhaps even earlier in Europe. Since then, nearly everything has been altered. Even religious and historical texts have been systematically misinterpreted and fabricated to mislead people. From Buddha's time up until the colonial New World Order, people from north to south, east to west were deeply connected to the natural world. The alignment enabled people in pre-colonial times to understand and walk the path of enlightenment. But today, with anthropocentric thinking dominating, the Buddha's teaching, which are rooted in an ecocentric understanding of existence, have become nearly incomprehensible to modern minds. Therefore, my mission is not only to preserve the Buddhist path to enlightenment, but to restore the indigenous world, a world built on respect of all life. An ecocentric world is essential for nurturing the mindset that fosters true understanding, peace, and balance. Only within such a world can enlightenment truly flourish again. As a monk, I am devoted to reviving the indigenous way of life so that others too may find freedom and realization in this state. This is why I am committing my life to bringing our indigenous world and traditional knowledge back to active power, and why I am dedicated to forming a global alliance of indigenous tribes. I believe it is essential for saving planet Earth. Otherwise, I have seen through my wisdom that life on this planet is already in grave danger of extinction. If you do not act now, your children and grandchildren may have no place to be born or live.
Thank you very much, Venerable Sir, for your profound and vital explanation.
We invite all West Friesians who wish to return to our roots and live as our ancestors did for thousands of years. I also call upon other indigenous tribes across Europe to reclaim their indigenous titles. Re-establishing our small self-governing autonomous communities is a powerful step in countering the dominance of global power giants. We are here to support you in reclaiming lost indigenous titles. In January, we organize a conference in Geneva for indigenous tribes whose titles have been taken. Together, we'll craft a strategic plan for the Global Alliance of Indigenous Tribes and the Global Indigenous Economic Forum. I invite everyone who shares this vision to join us and participate in this global summit. Let's embrace eco-friendly, self-sufficient living and restore Earth's ancient glory.
Join us in our mission for freedom. Let's rebuild our West-Friesian tribe alongside indigenous tribes across the world. The only path to true survival is to reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Solution.